So we still got quite a bit left here. Go. So, and we stopped right before that. Steroids, severe adverse effects. Remember we talked about that yesterday. But even though in that film they said that there's really no direct link, but I believe there probably is. Um, the gain, is it worth the cost? I mean, remember that one guy, Mr. Universe, blah, blah, this, that, and the other? He had 2 grapefruit-sized tumors, grapefruit-sized tumors, grapefruit on his liver. NCAA, they're illegal. UIL, they're illegal. Um, Olympics, NFL, pretty everything is illegal. And I hope you took your notes from the video. All right, so let's talk about pregame meal. All right, pregame meal. We have that, right? Maybe y'all go on one of those away games. We went over to this place and we had pregame meal, right? All right. So if I've got a choice, and how about steak and eggs, baked potato with sour cream and butter, bread, green beans, iced tea for that meal, pregame, huh? Or how about grilled chicken, a dry baked potato, green beans, bread, water, and Gatorade? Now don't pick it just because it says Gatorade and one says iced tea. Well, we got to figure out what the purpose of a pregame meal is, though. It's filler. No, carbs aren't going to be absorbed by them. Huh? Yeah. So eggs, eggs are all right, as long as they're like scrambled eggs. That's okay. I can do that. What about steak? Steak. What's wrong with steak? A whole lot of protein. Not only that, protein takes longer to digest. But not only that, steak is pretty fatty. There can be. So if it's fatty, it might upset somebody's tummy to where they got to go see Mr. Bathroom. What about baked potatoes? Is that all right? Seems to be on both, doesn't it? But one's dry and the other's got butter and sour cream. What's going to happen with those dairy products when you get out there and start getting hot? It could curdle a little bit. And I know, it's not a real great thing. Bread, that's great. Green beans, they're fine. What about iced tea? Is that fine? What does iced tea have in it? No, caffeine. What does caffeine have? What is it? What is caffeine? It's a, we talked about this. Caffeine is a stimulant, but it's also it's a diuretic, which will dehydrate you, make you go pee. And you don't want to get rid of all of your fluids just because you're drinking caffeine. So the other one, the grilled chicken, nice and dry baked potato. I mean, this is really boring stuff. Green beans, bread, water, or Gatorade, or both. So there's your pick. So keep away from dairy products. Keep away from caffeine. Increase your water intake. Why do you need to increase your water intake? One, you stay hydrated, but the other thing is that the adrenaline starts to get going a little bit. Once the adrenaline starts to go and your anxiousness starts to increase, you go to the bathroom more. So, I mean, if you go to the bathroom more, you got to make sure that you fight that before then. What? Um, that is, it does have electrolytes. Electrolytes we'll get into a little bit, but um, Gatorade is, your electrolytes are what? Your what? No, no. Yeah, it's got to be in your blood, in your plasma. Um, when you have a contraction of the muscle, all right, you have, what is it? Is it sodium? One comes in, sodium comes in, makes a contraction, and then the potassium comes in and breaks the contraction. So it's electrolytes are in your food, they're in your drink, etc. Pedialyte, which is a kid's, if you, yeah, I mean, but you've got to be careful that you don't get an imbalance of your electrolytes because then you can get short circuited. So you have to worry about that. So carbohydrate-rich foods, which is your pastas and your starches and so forth, and then think about the day before. All right, we have football, and you've been here long enough to go through a whole season. What do we do on Thursday for football? We do walkthroughs. They get done with walkthroughs, and then what? Give them protein shake, recovery shake, right? Why do we do it on Thursday? Let your body build up, let your body absorb what they're able to drink. Right. But if we do it on Wednesday, yeah, it'll something, but it's not going to work as good because Thursday you still got to work out. We probably do it on Wednesday after workout, but Thursday, pretty good time. All right. Back in the day, I say not back in the day, like it was so long ago, but you know what they used to give to athletes when they got done with the ball game? Coke. Texas, Dr. Pepper, RC Cola. All right. Now, I went to my coach and I told him one time, I said, why are we getting this? He goes, what do you mean? I said, instead of paying the money for this, why don't we pay just a little bit more and go get, we couldn't have a Gatorade, we had All Sport. And why don't we get the All Sport and give that to him? They go, why? I said, theoretically, this athlete is supposed to be at its lowest hydration level after playing a football game. The whole week, that should be his lowest hydration level. Should have given you the most effort, should have played his hardest. He's got adrenaline going through him, and etc. So why are we going to take him and then give him caffeine and drop his hydration level even more? So as soon as that game's done, our next job should be hydrate, 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 Saturday and Sunday, and have him ready for practice on Monday so he has a good practice. Scratches his head like that. And he goes, okay. And so he ordered it. So it's important as far as what you got to think about even the day before. You got to think about it, I mean, right after the game. All of it plays a toll as far as what you're putting in. So the day before, carb up. Get your carbs in. Because because what's going to happen during a football game? Okay, so there's J.J. Watt. He eats his pregame meal. That pregame meal completely dissolved or absorbed? Because we talked about, can you do everything you want to do? Do you have enough blood to digest your food and be able to go play? No, so the food sits there. It just sits there, dormant. Why when they throw up or whatever during a ball game, you see some chunks go with it. All right? Because it's just sitting there. All right? But the day before, they sleep, they're cruising real slow during the morning, getting all those nutrients, you're getting absorbed up, getting your glycogen stores to refuel. So do it the day before. All right, body mass, your body composition. Okay, so percent of lean body mass. How much of your body is actually fat, and how much is it lean? Okay, lean meaning not fat. And like you buy at the grocery store, you go get some lean beef, all right, and it'll say on there like 93% and 7% fat. It would say 93.7. That's pretty lean. And then it got 85-15. And when you cook it, there's a big difference. It does have quite a bit more flavor per se to it, but there's a whole lot more grease in that pan when you get done cooking with that fat. Same with people. Look at this though. The average college female should be 20 to 25% of her body should be fat. The average college guy is 12 to 15%. Huh? That's what I want to know. Why do you need to have more fat? Common sense would say what? What's the difference? What? Yes, common sense says we don't have babies, you have babies. So you need to have more fat because fat is energy. Okay? Fat feeds both of them. You got to feed the mama and the baby. All right? So that's it. And then if you're below 3% for a guy or 12% in a female, you're pretty much in trouble. Because what's fat do for you? Huh? Warmth? What else? What? Huh? Energy. It holds your energy. What else does it do? This is stuff that's going to be on your test that you should have been so far been reviewing. Come on. The bubble wrap around the nice little protects your organs. Yes. Yeah. Not only that, works as padding, insulation. So if you're down and you're starting to lose fat, all of these things are not going to be able to happen as well. Right? So we had this one guy that played in college, and there was absolutely no way that he was 12% fat. I mean, no way. We'd play on Saturday, and then on Sunday he'd come in and he could hardly move because everything, all that fat that would necessarily be there to help with the cushioning and so forth, wasn't there. So every hit was bam, straight to muscle. So those muscles are getting beat up and not having any help. Obesity applies when you have an excessive amount of fat. All right. Obesity has been declared as a major risk factor for heart attack, adding it to the list that includes smoking, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and sedentary lifestyle. What's a sedentary lifestyle? Huh? Trashy? No. Lazy? Yeah. Doesn't have to necessarily be lazy. You could be pretty smart and work and work and work, but you're not moving. All right? Sitting behind that desk, doing everything on the stock markets on that deal. Never get up to walk around. Okay? You're a kid. You know, when I was a kid, we came home, all right? We'd take off our school clothes because we had school clothes and we had play clothes. So we had to put our play clothes on, and then we were out the door. So we're out the door at 3 o'clock, and we're not back in until the street light comes on. Smell like boys. Oh, yeah, all the time. Playing football, baseball, hockey, you name it. We're outside being active. Y'all don't do that anymore. For the most part, go home. You go home, you play video games. And then what else do you have to have when you're playing your video game? You got to have a snack. I hate that word, snack. You don't need a snack. Get outside and go run. All right? Wait till you're old and decrepit like me before you want to go sit down. Okay? Get outside. Sedentary lifestyle where you're not moving. But look at the other deals. High blood pressure, high cholesterol. All right? Not necessarily the smoking part, but that one leads to the other two. High cholesterol. All right? High blood pressure led by the high cholesterol. All right? And it all adds up. We quit moving is what we've done in the last 25 years, is quit moving. And so the body composition is to where kids today, adults today, fatter than they've ever been in the U.S. So, anyways, you need to know these. There's 3 different ways of measuring how much body fat you have. One is hydrostatic weighing. Hydro meaning what? What's hydro? Water. So hydrostatic weighing is you weigh yourself underwater. Hey, I'm glad you asked. All right. So what they'll do, they'll have a great big tank, and I'm talking a pretty good sized tank, like, well, it's not so much this 10 by 10 square, but it's probably 5 by 5, filled with water, and there's a chair that's connected to a a great big scale. And so they put the person in there, they have them sit down, and they weigh it. And then they drop this chair into the water, and they tell you, take a breath. And once you get in underwater, what you have to do is let out all the air of your lungs, and they're going to count to like 10 or 20. Not bad. All right? And then they're going to wait for the scale to stop, and they're going to weigh you again under the water. Now, the whole thing about it, though, is that lean body mass, muscle, bone, etc., weighs more than fat body mass. So they have a formula that says, oh, okay, well, you weighed this much, and now you weighed that much. Somebody else who might weigh the same, but then they weigh less because they float more from the fat, they're going to figure it out. Oh, you're fatter than he is. And I'd be saying, duh. All right, how about measurement of electrical impedance? Electrical impedance. What you do is you take one of those, it looks like a little electrode, like on the stim machine, and you put it down on somebody's ankle. You take the other one and you put it on their wrist. Okay? Now, one of them is sending the signal through, and the other one is picking up how much is coming off of the person. If they're fatter, less electrical current will be coming through this part down here. So let's say that we're working on 100 milliamps. 100 milliamps go in here. Let's say that it's supposed to be 80 milliamps to be 20% fat. Okay? Next person comes on. It's at 70. So they're fatter because it's absorbing or not conducting the fat through the body, or conducting electricity through the body, because the fat's not going to be as good as conducting. Not a great way of doing it. They've got scales. You can stand on the scale, and they've got a little handle on it, and you put one there and one there, and it's you don't feel it, but it's actually putting a little current through you, and it'll tell you your percent body fat. All right. The other one is skin fold thickness measurements. All right. Somewhere in there, we've got a set of calipers. They're pretty cool. All right. What you do is you find 3 spots on a woman. There's 3 spots for the woman, 3 spots for the guy. Okay. And grab and put the calipers on it. And you find out how much space in between the calipers are. You run it through that formula that they have for it, and voila. This 21, this is 18, this is 13. Okay, let's put that in. Okay, that's how much they figure that you are as far as body fat. The thing, where do we measure though? Keep turning that off. On a woman, you need to know these. Triceps. You know grandma, right? The old redneck, yeah, the old redneck lady driving down the road smoking Marlboro with her arm hanging out, and it's flapping on the door. That's where women get fat. It was right back here. So you're going to measure that. All right? I knew this one old lady, though. I saw her, as a matter of fact, I saw it over in New Orleans. You know, she had quite a bit of fat then. She had quite a bit of fat right there, right? You know what her job was? Pressing hamburgers. Yep. She'd roll a piece of meat, she'd stick it there and squat it down, and they'd throw it on the grill. Huh? No, yeah, absolutely. The other one's the iliac crest, which is right there, okay? And then on the thigh, right there, your iliac crest, and then on the thigh. So you would do it, you'd have to have some place to where you could put their foot up and have them relax. And you need to pull that, okay? Now, don't think that everything that you're pulling up is going to be fat. It's not. There's skin, but it's not all skin. There is fat. And we deposit fat in different places for each gender. For guys, where are you going to find it? One, the pectoral chest, right up here. Right there is where you're going to do it. All right? The other is on the thigh. The only one that's the same. And then the other one, the last one, is on your abdomen or your abdominal. Your abdomen. Your belly. Okay? So, methods to lose and gain weight. All right, we've already done this. We talked about it, and then everybody's turned this in, right? Your basal metabolic rate. Okay, so you got an idea of what your BMR is. So let's say it's 1,500 calories for you to stay the exact weight. That means this ride in the bicycle that you're doing doesn't count. You're burning extra. Walking to class, extra. Walking all through the school, talking, listening, the whole 9 yards. That 24 hours of your BMR is laying in bed, not even blinking your eyes. All right? That's how many calories it'll take to keep your body the way it is today. Now, what about all the extra stuff? Walking around, going to class. That's calories. Put a pedometer on and find out how many steps you go. Put one of those little Fitbit things. Find out how many miles you actually walk. Right? During a football game, I bet I walk probably about 1.5 miles. You know, football coach, or anywhere from 2 to 5 miles, depending upon how hyper they are. So 5 miles, that's 500 calories. So if that was you, now you're up to 2,000 calories. And if you eat 2,000 calories, you're going to stay the same. You eat 2,500 calories, you're going to start gaining weight. You eat less than 2,000 calories, you're going to lose weight. So you want to lose weight, huh? Plain and simple. You find out how many calories that you're going to consume, and you got to burn more than that. The best way, as we saw in George, is not to quit eating, because you're going to lose just water weight, and then it's going to come right back on you. And then it's going to be even more. So let's not do that. Let's do this. Let's get rid of 200 calories a day. Your body won't even know. All right? Get rid of 200 calories a day and exercise 300 calories. 300 extra calories. Now that's 3 miles. But go get your dog. Okay? Walk with your dog. Go find somebody else that says, hey, I'll walk with you. If you're walking and talking, you won't even realize that the time is gone. And as you get better, tell that person, say, all right, let's do this. Find out how long it took to do your 2 miles. Okay? Find out how long it took to do your 2 miles, and then just try to increase to where the next time you're out, you go 10 yards farther. The next time you're out, in that same amount of time, you go 10 yards farther. So you pick it up just a little more. Then in that same amount of time that you have to spend, you burn more calories because you've gone farther. What? Stretching. So the only good way is, you know what they say, diet and exercise. There's no pill that's going to be doing it, that's going to knock it out, etc. We got time. Eating disorders. Does anybody know anybody with an eating disorder? You do? I've known people. Matter of fact, there was a friend of mine. There's a friend of mine that his daughter had an eating disorder, and it's really a tough thing. You've got to address that quickly. Okay? It's a distorted thought of how you look. There was a girl that sat next to me in high school. She was nothing but literally skin and bone. Like her fingers, they were so skinny in between that the joints would just go around. Her fingernails were terrible because she didn't have enough nutrition to take care. Hair was brittle. She didn't eat enough nutrition to take care of her body. It was awful. And you got to be careful around these people because they're sneaky. They don't want to get called out on this. So a bulimic is somebody who will eat a whole bunch of food, right? And then they'll go hide somewhere and throw up. Watch this stuff on TV. You can watch it on the Discovery Channel and stuff. I was watching one time. This woman would go to like all-you-can-eat buffet because she didn't want to have to pay a whole lot. She would pound down thousands of calories. Then she'd go home. She'd go in the closet. I don't know why did she pick the closet because I guess it was out of the way from everybody. Instead of throwing up in the bathroom, because that's where people would expect you to, she would throw up in great big gallon Ziploc bags. And then she would, instead of like either, flushing it away, she would make sure she got it out and into the trash. I mean, she's hiding this so well that she has a pattern that's way out of the norm of what you would expect. You throw up, you get sick, you throw up in the toilet. You know, there's always some puke in it, never, you know, that you got to clean up afterwards, right? And it stinks in there after you get done. So if you put it in a plastic bag and you make sure you hide it, they do that. So here's the whole thing is that they'll take laxatives. You know, laxatives are, right? Yeah, make it soften your stool. Yeah, because if the food goes out quicker than it can be absorbed, well, great. Well, they end up dehydrated. They end up with bad liver. What about their teeth? Their teeth look awful. Why? Yeah, the acid from your stomach is very, very corrosive. And so there it goes. It's tearing up your throat, tearing up your teeth, disrupt your heart rhythm. So, but like I say, they are very sneaky about it. Now, this one here is an anorexic. All right, so they got a distorted body image. They think that if they pull anything off of their body, they would go, "Oh my God, I am fat." No, I don't think so. It's not fat. That's called skin, and we can use your ribs as a xylophone if we need it to. Okay, but they think that that's fat, and so they end up doing stuff like going crazy with exercise. I think I'm going to join the cross country team, and I'm going to run forever. And I think I'm going to find the next sport that has a whole lot of running in it. And I'm not going to eat breakfast, and I'm not going to eat lunch. And I'm just, they end up, literally, they could very well end up killing themselves. They deny their hunger. How they what? They just deny it. They deny their hunger. They are probably some of the most disciplined people around. Now, if they took that discipline and they put it to something that was useful, holy smokes, they could do anything. Anything. But they don't. They got this distorted image of what they look like. What? Well, what they'll do is they'll do stuff like this. We were supposed to go out and eat, right? So they'll get there. So they'll be there. I just ate. I just ate. And maybe they'll pick just a little bit of food. And it's always food like lettuce and stuff that has 0 calories and so forth. But they'll let you know that they just ate. But you start looking at these people, you say, "You just ate? But I haven't seen you eat." So you got to really start watching that. Are they putting the food in their mouth and keeping it in and not puke it? All right? It is a big, big, big problem with getting from teenage to out of college, especially with young ladies. Because holy smokes, they go and you look in the daggum internet and on the TV and, oh, you got to be 6 foot and you got to be only 113 pounds and you've got to, it's tough, you know, because they're trying, those people that they tell you that you can't have any figure. Get over that. All right? Find a guy that likes you who you are and don't ever try and change how you are to them. Got it? So, they're very highly secretive. If you know somebody, you've got to convince them that they need to get help. If they don't get help, they will die. That stuff will kill you. All right, holy smokes, that was a great slide right there. Begin to study. So tomorrow what we'll do is we'll do review.